Okay, hello students. Here I am making a video on lesson number 7.4, how to find general solution of trigonometric equations. So you see right now you see three problems, 1, 2, 3. I'll walk through each one of them so that you really understand how to go about. But in order to be successful in this solving equation, and there are three more on the right side, all you need to know is the period of sine, cosine and tan. Now the sine graph is this one where the period is 2 pi, it means the cycle repeats. See, from 0 to 2 pi it's the same thing. So sometimes they give you an answer to figure out the angles from 0 to 2 pi, and then it's the same thing every 2 pi. Let's see, there is a point here, this is the point, and then you add 2 pi to it, so it goes all the way here. So if you know one of them, you find another one and another one. And if you know this point, let's say if you know this point here, so that will be added 2 pi and you go back here. So basically, if you know one solution, you just add 2 pi and you get the next one. Or if you see, if you have a circle, unit circle, and if the angle is, let's say sine 30, we know sine 30 is half, so sine 30. This is cosine 30 is root 3 by 2 and sine 30 is half. So sine of pi by 6, 30 is half, but then this is just an angle of between angle pi by 6, this is pi, but you can also go all around and go back to the same position. So not just pi by 6, but also you can have pi by 6 plus 2 pi, which is like 360 from 0 to 2 pi. And then again 4 pi, 6 pi, so you can see here this one equals pi by 6 plus like 2k pi, and pi could be integers. Not just this angle 30, you can go also in the clockwise direction and go back to the same place, so minus 2 pi. Okay, let's go directly to this one. So first one is tan theta is root 3. What is the solution? General solution. One of the angle that we know is tan theta. Now question is, this is positive square root of 3, and which quadrant is tan positive? So here. So just a quick in case we get. So we know that xy in 4 different quadrants, positive, positive, negative, positive, both negative, positive. So in the first quadrant, all trig ratios are positive. In the second one, it is minus plus. So cosine is negative and sine is positive. You can always remember this. And if one of them is negative, tan has to be negative. But this is the one where, or you can remember add sugar to coffee. All stupid teachers of maybe Casa Grande, whatever. Just an example. So remember this. Now the question here is tan is positive. So which angle can we talk about? Here is, we know that tan of 30. So tan 30 is root 3 by 2. Okay. So tan 30 is root 3 by 2. Now it's positive. So tan is positive here. Tan is positive here also. See, tan is positive. So we can think of one of the angle that we can think here is okay. You can say, hey, tan theta is tan inverse root 3 by 3. So what this basically means, tan of which angle is, so tan of what angle is root 3 by 2, and it is pi by 6, pi by 6. And because tan of pi by 6 is root 3 by 3. Now the question is this the only angle? If you can see there's another angle here. This pi by 6 will be this one, which is pi by 6. Okay, and then you can see that you can add this is pi, which is 180, and you can go to the other side. This angle also is this here also, both sine cosine and sine is negative, tan is positive. So not just that, but it is also 180 plus. So this angle is pi, so pi plus, so this one, so this is pi, correct? Let me show. So this is pi. So pi by 6. So the other angle that you can think of is tan of, and how much is this one is pi by 6. So how many pi by 6 are there until here? Or you can write, okay, it is pi plus pi by 6. You multiply 6 and divide by 6. You get 6 pi and 1 pi is 7 pi by 6. So this basically angle is you get 7 pi by 6. So it's not just pi by 6, it's also 7 pi by 6. Now the question is, do we have to use this, or can we use directly? Once you know this pi by 6, because of the, so here it is, look at this. So pi by, if this is pi by 2, this is pi by 6, and this is pi by 3. So if pi by 6 is root 3 by 2, let's say this is the point, then what you do is just add one more pi. So if you see this, 7 pi by 6. So you add 7 pi by 6, this way. So this becomes 7 pi by 6. So this is 7 pi by 6. So what I'm trying to say, because of the cycle, you don't have to use this. Can we use the same one, pi by 6? Once you get this, because of the period is, so if you know this answer, pi by 6, so the theta is pi by 6. It is also pi by 6 plus pi. So just let's use this, okay? It is also pi by 6 plus 2 pi. It is also pi by 6 plus 3 pi. What it means is if the angle is pi by 6, if this angle is pi by 6, and then you can just add pi to it, you end up getting on the other side. So this also is, when you add this whole thing is 7 pi by 6. So this part is 7 pi by 6. See? So you don't have to separately use 7 pi by 6. So you are adding pi by 6 and get 7 pi by 6. Then add another pi to it. So if this is the angle, if this is one of the angle pi by 6, so add another pi. So this is another pi. So you get 7 pi by 6. Okay. So you just go on adding. This will be pi by 6 plus 2 pi. So you go another. You add one more pi. You get back to this end. This terminal side, you get another pi, you get back to this terminal side, another pi. So each time we are adding pi there. So it is 1 pi, this is like 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi. So in general, we can say not just that. Watch this. Suppose the angle is pi by 6, this is pi by 6. Okay, and then you can go on the other side. This angle is pi by 6 and minus pi. So you're going clockwise direction. So not just pi by 6 plus pi by 6, not just plus 1, it could be minus 1. Then you can go this way, so another minus 2 pi by 6. Sorry, minus 2 pi. This is pi by 6. Then again minus another pi. So it is pi by 6. Minus 3 pi, and goes on. So the point I'm making is here, if you have this, theta is pi by 6, and we can say not just this, it could be also pi by 6 minus pi. So going back to the same one, or pi by 6 minus 2 pi, or pi by 6 minus 3 pi. So what's happening is, we can in general say, instead of writing all this in general, you just say, okay, it is pi by 6 plus k times pi. But what is k is? K is plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, da 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 da. It means k is integer. We are done. So k could be 0 also. So not just 0, it is 0 also. Because 0 means when you write k is 0, you get back your pi by 6. Hope that makes sense to you. Again, I repeat, this is the first problem, which is very, very important. So even though you know this is root 3 by 3, you know tan of pi by 6 is root 3 by 3, and then you just go on adding pi by pi to whatever the angle is. You can see that if this is pi by 6, you just add pi, you go there, and you can go on the other side also. So this is minus 3 pi, 3 pi by 2. So you have another dotted like this. See? So you go on the other direction also. This one becomes, this is become minus of that angle. So you're just subtracting pi by 6. So if you subtract pi by 6 and if you subtract pi and you multiply 6, you get minus 5 pi by 6. So this is that minus 5 pi by 6 here. Hope that helps. Let's do the next question. Okay, so let's first solve for the trig ratios. So how do we solve the trig ratio? Add plus 1 both sides. So this will be square root of 2 cosine theta equals 1, and then divide by square root of 2, which is, this goes away and you get cosine theta is plus, and root 2 we can always write it as multiply root 2, which is root 2 divided by 2, because root 2 times. Now when you look at this, you already know where is cosine, which quadrant is cosine. Okay, so if you see this, which quadrant is cosine positive? And cosine is, definition is x, so you can clearly see cosine is positive in the first quadrant, cosine positive. Here also there's x is that by definition is cosine. So cosine is positive in the first quadrant and the second quadrant. So I'm going to draw two things here. One is, and one more thing is, the period of cosine also is 2 pi. Which is, there is a point right here. If there is a point, then you just add 2 pi and you go to the next point. Whatever this may be pi by 3. If you have pi by 3, then the other one will be just a pi by 3 plus 2 pi, because the period is 2 pi. You can see the period is 2 pi is because one cycle gets completed in 2 pi, like from 0 to, so this goes here. I think I messed up here. For the cosine, it should be pi by 2 here. This is 3 pi by 2. This part is 2 pi. I made a mistake here. This is 3 pi by 2, and this is pi. Hope that makes, yeah, 0. So 0. This is 0. Cosine 0 is 0, and cosine 2 pi is also 1, and cosine 0 is 1, cosine 360 is 1, and this is half, and cosine pi by 2 is 0, cosine 3 pi by 2 is 0. Okay, so let's go move here. Cosine is positive. I'll draw 2 arrows to show the angle. One of the angle is cosine of what angle is, which angle is root 2 over 2, and it is clearly it is 45. And 45 is pi by 4. That's the one of the angle. This is in the cosine is positive. First quadrant, let's write it. First quadrant, and this is the fourth quadrant. So if it is fourth quadrant, how do I go fourth quadrant here? So how many pi by 4 make so if I want to go, so this is, so this angle is pi by 4, okay. Now you want to go in the fourth quadrant, this is the starting angle, and this is 1 pi by 4, and then this is 2 pi by 4, 3 pi by 4, 4 pi by 4, 5 pi by 4, 6 pi by 4, and there you go 7 pi. So this angle is 7 pi by 4, and you reach in the fourth quadrant. So there are 8 pi by 4s, 8 pi by 4s. In the whole circle, if I try to draw a circle, there are 8 of them. Or you can think of, if it is fourth quadrant, you can just say this is 2 pi. So the So the angle is the whole round is 2 pi, and you just take away this little piece here, pi by 4, and you just multiply 4, and you get 4 times 2 is 8 pi minus pi divided by 4, and you get 7. You know, as I say, you don't have to do, just use your trick mind here and say, hey, there is 7. Pi by 4 also gives you the root to 2. So one of the answer is this, and the other answer is 7 pi by 4. You get confused with this, use this strategy. So your answer, these are the two angles. Using this, now we can write theta is not just pi by 4. Let's see, this is pi by 4. And you can go on adding, this is one of them. And you can add 360, that is 2 pi. So you go all around, and that's another angle. So it is not just pi by 4. Pi by 4 is one of the angles. Then you can have pi by 4 plus 2 pi. Or it is pi by 4 plus 4 pi. Like this. So you can add one more to it. So you can go around. This is another 2 pi. So it is pi by 4 is one of the angles. But you can add 2 pi, and you get back to the same terminal side. So it is 4 pi. And not just, you can also go in the clockwise direction with minus also. So what do we write here is theta is just pi by 4, and instead of 2 pi, then 4 pi. So there's a 2 times 2 is like all 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, 8 pi. So you just write plus 2, and you put k pi. So that takes care of everything. And what is k here is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Or you can just say k is nothing but integer. Any integer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, or 0 also. And in this case, you can write theta is theta. Same thing. So the goal is to get these two angles. Once you get these two angles, you just write 7 pi by 4. And the period, and think of the period is cosine is 2 pi. And that's why I say 2 pi times k. K is integer, and done. So this completes the second problem. Now instead of cosine, they could have given a sine or tan. The idea is the same, get the two angles like this. If it is sine and cosine, you will be having two angles between. So the goal here is, especially these problems are mostly, you want to figure out first the theta between 2 pi. And once you get those angles between 0 and 360, then you can think of all general solutions. Let's take another one. You get confused with this? Okay, let's do one more problem. Look at this thing. So tan square theta is, the first part is easy, but you just add plus 1, and then you get tan square is 1. Okay, and now you take the square root. That means tan theta is not just 1, because it's a square, so it's plus 1, and also tan theta is minus 1. So when tan theta is 1, so let's draw the figure to understand this. What angle? So we know this theta has to be pi by 4. At least that we know, tan pi by 4. So that means here, so this part is pi by 4, so that's the angle. And the general solution is not just pi by 4, and then the other one is on the other side. So this also other side is, so this angle also gives you, which is pi by 4, 2 pi by 4, 3 pi by 4, 4 pi by 4, and that is 5 pi by 4. But we are not going to use this because the period of tan is already pi, so it takes care of this 5 pi by 4. Just think of this one, the main angle. So we say, okay, theta is pi by 4, theta also pi by 4 plus pi, also pi by 4 plus 2 pi, and goes on, and also minus like this. So in general, you just write, okay, theta is pi by 4 and plus k pi, and you're done. K is integer. Now if you go the other side, minus 1, tan is negative. So tan is negative in the second and the fourth quadrant. See, this is where tan is negative, because Cosine and sine are opposite signs, so tan has to be negative. So which one is that angle? So if you see, if the angle, if this is pi by 4, so that means you want to get the second quadrant. To go in the second quadrant, you just have to do, okay, this is the initial side, so you go 1 pi by 4, you go 2 pi by 4, and you go there, you go 3 pi by 4. So this becomes, so this is the angle which is 3 pi by 4. So your theta right now here is, and of course, you could take also not the other side. The other side is 3 pi by 4, then 4 pi by 4, 5 pi by 4, 6 pi by 4, and you get 7 pi by 4. So this whole thing is 7 pi by 4. But then we don't have to use this, because with the help of this theta itself, by just adding 3, so this is your 3 pi by 4, and you just add pi. You do this, you multiply 4 here and divide by 4. 4 pi, 3 pi is 7 pi by 4. So you already get the fourth quadrant, so you don't have to literally do separately. You just write here, is you just get one of these angles. So we say, okay, theta is 3 pi by 4, or 3 pi by 4 plus pi, or it is 3 pi by 4 plus 2 pi, and so on, just goes on. Or you can put minus, not just plus, but also going clockwise direction also. So therefore, theta is 3 pi by 4 plus k and pi. K is I. So which are the two answers? This is one of the answers, and this is another answer. That's how it is. Make sense? Okay, so these three problems I wanted to show first, and I will do another three problems in the next video. Hope this helps and understand how to solve, so find a general solution of trigonometric equation. Thank you for watching, and as I said, I may click another video so that it will help you.